Hi, today I learned Apica.
Welcome to Language Students Watching. Today we're traveling through the state of Indiana. Indiana is where Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president, grew up. So there are some memorials to him, such as the Lincoln Boyhood National Memorial. There's also another monument located in the state of Indiana. It is 280 feet high, and it's the Soldiers and Sailors Monument in Indianapolis. It's one of the many Indiana monuments honoring those who have served in our military. Something else that Indiana is remembered for is a man named Orville Redenbacher, who helped the state become one of the largest popcorn producers in the nation. So if you enjoy popcorn, you can thank this man and his contributions to helping that become very popular in the state of Indiana. We're going to think through now about direct quotations. If the sentence that I say has a direct quote in it, you may use the closing and the opening quotes to place those around the direct quotation. If the sentence I say does not have a direct quote, it has an indirect quote, it does not have the exact words, you may put your hand on your head. So listen carefully and think carefully, students watching. Our first sentence, Emma asked, "What are you working on, Ryan?" Direct quote, yes or no. Carson is saying yes. He's showing me the quotation marks. Excellent thinking. Ryan told Emma that he was putting a jigsaw puzzle together. Direct or indirect? Students watching? And Asa.
Indirect.
Right. What was the clue word that you heard in that sentence, Jacob?
That.
Good. How many pieces are in that puzzle? Asked Dad. Oh, Emily's showing me the quotation marks. Excellent thinking. Direct quote. I enjoyed working jigsaw puzzles with my grandpa, said Andrew. Direct or indirect? Madison.
Direct?
Yes, exactly correct. Do you have those exact quotation marks? Andrew said that he and his grandpa put a large puzzle together last Christmas. Oh, Tyra's saying what? Tyra, is it direct or indirect?
Indirect.
Good, exactly correct. What is a clue in that sentence that helps you know that, students watching? And Adriana.
That.
Excellent. Grandpa mentioned that he sometimes glues his puzzle pieces together and hangs them on the wall. Direct or indirect? Josh?
Indirect.
Good. What is a clue, Emily?
That.
Yes, the word that. Lily said, "You may borrow this pencil when I am finished with it." Oh, Jimmy is showing us his quotation marks. Is it direct or indirect, Jimmy?
Direct.
Think again.
Indirect.
Indirect, it would be if we didn't have the exact words, but it is direct. You were right the first time because we do have the exact words that Lily said. You may borrow this puzzle when I am finished with it. So now let's think through periods. Those are another type of punctuation mark. Let's take a look at our chart. I'm going to start the sentence and then you'll give me the end of it. Use a period, class, at the end of most sentences. Use a period, class, after initials of names. Good. Use a period, class, after abbreviated titles of respect. Use a period, class, after most abbreviations. Take out a scrap sheet of paper and a pencil. Scrap sheet of paper and a pencil, and now we're going to begin thinking through abbreviations. I have several listed at the side. We're going to begin writing these abbreviations, fixing both where we need to insert the period and if a letter needs to be capitalized. Now, some of these may not be abbreviations, and they may not need a period at the end of them. So fix them only as needed. Row 1, you're going to do the words at number 1. Row 2, you're going to do the words at number 2 at your seats. And row 3, you're going to do number 3 at your seats. Row 4, you're number 4, and row 5, you're number 5. Students watching, you're going to be doing row number 2s and participating along with row number 2. So remain at your seats on your scrap sheet of papers. Fix the words at the chalkboard and write them correctly, fixing capitalization and punctuation, inserting any periods that you may need. Check your work, students watching. The R should be capitalized, period placed after it. March, capitalize the M, period placed after it. Tuesday, the T should be capitalized and period. So if you have this, students watching, you can put a smile on your paper. Excellent work. Same thing at your seats. If your work is correct, put a smile on your paper. For number 3, we should have a capital M and a period at the end. For May, we should have a capital M, but should we have a period at the end, Presley?
No.
No, because it's not abbreviated, so we do not need a period at the end. For Wednesday, we do capitalize the W, we do place a period at the end. For Mrs., capitalize the M, place a period at the end. August, capitalize the A, period at the end. And then Thursday, capitalize the T. One thing to remember is to use the insert arrow as you're placing the period. Yes, we do need those, but you do need to use your proofreader's mark to insert that arrow with that period. Let's take a look at number 5. With the word miss, we capitalize the M, but notice carefully there's no period at the end. Excellent thinking. Now, why is there no period needed at the end, Adriana?
It's already short.
It's already shortened, and it's not an abbreviation, so we do not need a period. For October, we do need the capital O and the period inserted at the end. For Friday, the capital F and the period inserted at the end. Excellent job. If your work matches your rows, you may put a smile at the end if you were thinking carefully. Great job. Now go ahead and set your scrap sheet of paper and pencil down. We're going to take a look at some sentences together at the front board. Follow along as I read. You watch and be ready to tell me where we need to insert any punctuation marks. For the first one, Mrs. Rhodes knows my neighbor, Miss Miller. What is the first mark of punctuation that I need to add and why? Cadence.
After Mrs.,
What do I need?
a period.
Yes, and why?
Because when you abbreviate, you have to have a period after the word.
That is correct. Excellent. Because I'm abbreviating it, I need that period added at the end. Are there any other punctuation marks needed in this sentence, students watching? And Madison.
After Miss Miller,
Yes, what do we need to add?
a period.
Why?
Because it's the end of the sentence.
And what kind of sentence is it?
A declarative.
Yes, a declarative sentence. Let's look at our next one. Dad drove to 5714 Candle Road to pick up my brother after practice. Where's the first mark of punctuation needed, Emily?
After row.
Yes, and why?
Because row is abbreviated.
Yes, Josh, because we're abbreviating road, we need to insert that period at the end of it. It is an abbreviation. Where's the next mark of punctuation needed, Cadence?
After practice.
And why?
Because you have to punctuation after a sentence.
Good. And what kind is needed?
Declarative.
Yes, so what do we add?
Period.
Yes, a period, because it is a declarative sentence and it is the end of the sentence. Let's take a look at the next one. Tess, please hand me that cup. What mark of punctuation, Josh Cadence, needs to be placed in this sentence? Una.
After cup.
Good. What do we need to add?
Insert arrow.
Good. And what?
Period.
Yes, because what kind of sentence is it?
A declarative.
Not declarative. Jacob?
Imperative.
Imperative is correct. So we need an imperative, a period for the imperative sentence at the end. Let's take a look at our next sentence. James asked, would you like a ride to Sunday school? Is there any punctuation needed in this sentence, Asa?
No.
No, everything is correct as it is. We don't need to add anything else. Before we go on, let's take a look at the direct quote. What do you notice about the first word of the direct quote, Aiden? What do you notice about the W? Adriana? It is capitalized. So we capitalize the first word of a direct quotation. Take a look at the end. Notice the question mark and the quotation marks. Which one is inside, Josh?
The question mark.
Yes, the question mark goes inside and then the closing quotation marks follow it and they go after it. We're going to take a look at a couple of sentences. As we take a look at these sentences, I want you to watch for the marks of punctuation in these sentences. Now, let's look at this first one together. Dr. Lewis is my favorite chapel speaker. Where is the first period in this sentence, students watching? And Anna. Yes, why is it after doctor, Dev?
Because it's abbreviated.
It is abbreviated. Where's the next period in this sentence, Jacob?
Before speaker.
Not before speaker, but after speaker, because what kind of sentence is it, Josh?
But declarative.
It is a declarative sentence, so Josh, we need a period at the end. Notice we have a reason for why there's a period placed after doctor and after the end of the sentence. You always need a reason for why you have a punctuation mark. Let's take a look at our next sentence. This letter is addressed to Reverend Michael Morton. Where's the first period located? Students watching? And Presley.
After the abbreviation of Reverend.
Yes, after Reverend, the abbreviation, and we know that because we're going to use those punctuation marks after the abbreviated title of respect. Where is the next mark of punctuation in this sentence, Morgan?
After Morton.
Good, and why do we need one after Morton, Jackson?
Because it's the end of the sentence.
Yes, and what kind of sentence is it, Carly? Yes, and a declarative sentence always needs a type of or a mark of punctuation at the end of it, and because it's declarative, it will be a period. Let's take a look at our next sentence. Our coach is Mr. Peterson. Where's the first punctuation mark needed or added in this sentence, Una? Carson?
After Mr.
Yes, why do we need one after Mr., Una?
Because it's Mr. is abbreviated.
Yes, Mr. is abbreviated, that abbreviated title of respect. And where does the next mark of punctuation go? Anna?
After Peterson.
Yes, because what kind of sentence is it, students watching? And Asa? Help them out, students watching. And Tyra? Aiden?
After Peterson.
That's where it is located, but what kind of sentence, Steph?
Declarative.
Yes, it's a declarative sentence. A declarative sentence needs a period. Take out your language book and open to page 77. Language book open to page 77. Let's look at Think A at the top. We're going to place a check in the blank beside each sentence that has a direct quotation. If it does not have a direct quotation, then you don't need to write anything in the blank. So for number 1, I would like a bowl of popcorn, said Dad. Direct quote, yes or no? Carly? Students watching? And Deb?
Yes.
Yes, so place a check in the blank. Number 2, Indiana provides more popcorn than any other state. Direct quote, yes or no? Tyra?
No.
No, so leave it blank, nothing needed. Number 3, Leo said, I love popcorn. Direct quote, yes or no? Cadence?
Direct quote.
So the answer is?
Yes.
Yes, place a check in the blank. Number 4, have you ever made caramel corn, asked Mom? Direct quote, yes or no? Josh?
Yes.
Yes, so place a check in the blank. Number 5, Mrs. Nichols said that she had a recipe for caramel corn. Direct quote, yes or no? Adriana? No, so leave it blank. What is a clue in that sentence that shows you there's no direct quote? Gage?
That.
Yes, circle the word that. Number 6, I heard Pastor say that this or his favorite snack is cheese popcorn. Direct quote, yes or no? Asa?
Yes.
Think again. Do we have quotation marks in this sentence? No, so is it direct quote? There's also a clue. What is it, Kathleen? There's a word in that sentence. Aiden?
That.
Circle the word that. That means no direct quote, oftentimes. Number 7, I'm sure glad Indiana grows all of that popcorn, exclaimed Leo. Direct quote, yes or no, students watching? And Anna?
Yes.
Yes, so place a check in the blank. Now let's go into Think B. Use proofreader's marks to insert all necessary punctuation. Remember, commas, quotation marks, periods, question marks, and exclamation points. Most sentences will have 2, 3, or even more marks of punctuation that you need to add. Make sure you use your insert arrow as you add those marks of punctuation. You may begin working sentences numbers 1 through 5. What time is it? Just insert a question mark at the end. Number 4, the train conductor asked, insert the beginning quotation marks before the word may, insert a question mark after please, and then the closing quotation marks after the question mark. Raise your hand if you have that one correct. Good. Give me another high five. Excellent job. Now for sentence 5, Indiana also produces cantaloupe, insert a comma, tomatoes, insert a comma, watermelon, insert a comma, and blueberries, insert the period. Put a smile beside sentence 5 if you remembered all of those things. Why do we have commas after cantaloupe, tomatoes, and watermelon? Students watching? And Asa.
Because
Those are items in a,
sentence.
no, not items in a sentence, but items in a, Adriana?
Series.
Series, exactly correct. Let's look at remember C. A title of respect and a name are shown in parentheses to the left of each sentence. Complete each sentence by writing the title and the name correctly in the blank. So you see the name there in parentheses, but you need to fix all of the capitalization and punctuation as you rewrite it on the line. Go ahead and finish numbers 1 through 5. You can write the right not items in a sentence, but items in a period after mom, closing quotes after the period. Give me a big smile if you have that. Put a smile by number 1. Number 2, you should have your in the first pair of quotation marks inserted before the I, the exclamation point inserted after star, closing quotation marks after the exclamation point at the end of the sentence. Raise your hand if you have that one correct. Give me a high fives. Excellent thinking, students watching. Number 3, what time is it? Just insert a question mark at the end. Number 4, the train conductor asked, insert the beginning quotation marks before the word may, insert a question mark after please, and then the closing quotation marks after the question mark. Raise your hand if you have that one correct. Good. Give me another high five. Excellent job. Now for sentence 5, Indiana also produces cantaloupe, insert a comma, tomatoes, insert a comma, watermelon, insert a comma, and blueberries, insert the period. Put a smile beside sentence 5 if you remembered all of those things. Why do we have commas after cantaloupe, tomatoes, and watermelon? Students watching? And Asa.
Because
Those are items in a,
sentence.
no, not items in a sentence, but items in a, Adriana?
Series.
Series, exactly correct. Let's look at remember C. A title of respect and a name are shown in parentheses to the left of each sentence. Complete each sentence by writing the title and the name correctly in the blank. So you see the name there in parentheses, but you need to fix all of the capitalization and punctuation as you rewrite it on the line. Go ahead and finish numbers 1 through 5. In period in each. Let's take a look at our sentences and begin capitalize them and check our capitalization and our punctuation in each of them. For Mrs., capital MRS period, capital V period, capital E period, capitalize the R, and then you can write the rest of the name. Number 2, capitalize the R, place a period after Reverend, capitalize the T in Tim, capitalize the F in Fast. That's his last name. For number 3, you're capitalizing Mr., capital MR period, capitalize S period, capitalize the M in Martinez. Number 4, capitalize the D, place a period after the R for doctor, capitalize the J in Jennifer, capitalize the L, place a period after it, capitalize the M in Moore. For number 5, capitalize M in Miss, but no period after it. It's not abbreviated. Capitalize the A in Amber and the S in Smith. Smile if you missed 0, 1, or 2 of those things. Excellent. You may put a smile by remember C. Don't forget to think carefully and have a rule or a reason for why you're fixing something with your capitalization or something with your punctuation. Students watching will continue to practice these details in our next lesson.